Hey everybody, Mike Pedacci here. I have the incredible privilege of being the pastor of the family, the tribe of New Horizon Church. And I wanted to take a few moments here just to quickly follow up with what Genevieve and I had mentioned last Sunday's service regarding reopening plans physically for when we can gather again. And I want to start out by saying church has never been closed. In fact, I have seen disciple making, which we define here as growth in depth of individuals and growth in number happening. We've seen a lot of growth in depth. I don't know about you, but me personally, I've seen some growth in depth in my life over the past couple months. And we've seen growth in numbers. We've actually seen people attending services that normally would not attend a church service, which has been very encouraging. People from all over the country, actually, which has been awesome. So, it's not about reopening, it's about physically gathering again. Just want to be clear about that. And I want to share with you again and talk a little bit more about the scripture that I feel the Lord put on our leadership team's heart regarding the attitude and posture we want to take and what we want to stand on. I think it's important to have a word from Him to stand on when you're considering something. And I feel like this is the word that He's given to the tribe of New Horizon. And it's Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. And I'm going to read to you from the New Living Translation. I like that translation. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. And I want to break down this verse a little bit. Two key words here. The word don't be selfish. The word for selfish, the Greek word for selfish here is eretheia. Eretheia. And this word, what it means essentially is politics. It means partisanship. It means electioneering. It literally means politics. And I thought that was fascinating given all the things that we may be seeing on social media or in the news regarding reopening churches specifically. And the next Greek word that summarizes the thought that Paul was conveying when he said, don't try to impress others, is karadoxia. Karadoxia. And essentially that means for your own glory. For your own glory. So if we were to break that verse down, understanding the finer definitions of those Greek words, I just thought it was fascinating, especially the first one. Don't do anything out of politics or for your own glory, but in humility, consider others, think of others as better than yourselves. And in terms of a scripture to better guide us in this season that we're in, as we're considering gathering again physically, I don't know that the Lord could have given us a better one. I'm very thankful for that word to stand on, to guide us. And here's the thing. We are going to, as a church family, continue to obey the command to gather together. And we've been doing that. We're going to continue to do that. And we are going to use this scripture of not doing anything for political reasons or for our own glory, but in humility, thinking of others as more than ourselves, as higher than ourselves, as better than ourselves. We're going to let that guide us, and we're probably going to open up at a slower pace than some other churches. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because that's how I feel He's leading the tribe at New Horizon, and I hope you're okay with that too. And I encourage you to stand on this scripture with me, with our leadership team, Philippians 2:3, that we will do nothing for political reasons or for our own glory, but we will have humility. Humility in considering others more important than our particular viewpoints, more important than maybe us being seen at a physical gathering. And what we're going to do specifically from what we know right now, and it's an ever-changing situation, we're going to monitor the phases like a lot of people are doing. And right now, what we are doing is we are encouraging the gathering of groups of 10 or under. And we're encouraging people to get together, people to invite people over. Bring your TV outside on your deck if you want, or watch it in the house. But we're encouraging what we are allowed to do right now per our guidelines of having groups of 10 or under. And we're going to continue doing that until we hear differently. and we're encouraging groups to gather for the services. We had several ladies here over the weekend. I think it was Saturday night. A bunch of the ladies got together and had a campfire. I almost called the sheriff on them. They were having too much fun. I could hear them back here at the parsonage, and the fire was going, and they were all hanging out. It was like almost 11 at night. Our ladies here are they're pretty out there, pretty wild. So they were having a great time together, and we encourage that. I mean, if people want to get together and just sing some songs or come over to the church property and worship together, we're all for that, as long as it meets the guidelines that we currently find ourselves in with whatever phase we might be in. And I'm very thankful about this season that we just went through, in a sense, because now we have a little bit more experience with doing things online, and I'm actually very excited about that, because I think online services, online worship experience are going to become more part of our DNA as we move forward. And without what we all are going through right now and have went through over the past 2 months, that wouldn't be the case. So I'm very thankful for that. But from a directional standpoint, just encourage you to stand on that scripture with us, Philippians 2:3, that we are going to do nothing for political reasons or to impress others, but in humility. We're going to consider others above ourselves. And here's why that is so important. If you may be wondering or wrestling with the thought of, I want to enjoy my freedom, why can't we gather together? I want to share some data with you. And this right here, this picture, this is a statistic that speaks to this important question of, are you comfortable returning to church? And this particular stat surveyed a very large group of people, and as of last week, 79% responded no. We are not comfortable returning to a physical gathering yet, returning to an in-person church service yet. So what we're going to be doing at New Horizon is we are going to be slowly expanding as the phases move forward with physical gatherings. What that might look like is more outdoor stuff. As the phases progress. I can tell you something, Genevieve and I are so much, we're hoping for this, that we can have our first in-person gathering on July 5th. We're actually hoping to have a outdoor service, a big picnic, a welcome back to physical gathering, celebration, if you will, as a church family. That's a date. If you want to put that in your back pocket, be praying about it. We're hoping that we can physically gather as a church family July 5th. That's a little target we've put out there and we've been praying about. But again, we're going to continue to stand on Philippians 2:3. Encourage you to do the same. Also, just encourage you, not regarding physical gathering of church, but just in general. That's a great scripture to be standing on in this season that we find ourselves in, where there's so many differing opinions. And it's good to have different opinions. It's good to have disagreements. It's great to have discussion and debate around important issues. We're not trying to say that, we don't encourage that or we're discouraging that. We think it's great to have viewpoints, but what we want to do is we want to be guided in humility. We want to consider others who might think differently than we do above ourselves. And we feel that a reasonable approach is to continue to move forward with the phases as they're currently stated, and slowly encourage more and more gathering together of smaller groups until we can hopefully get together on July 5th and have a great celebratory in-person picnic and time and worship and the Word together. Hope you are well, and we ask that you would join us in moving forward. That's our tagline, moving forward together. And that's what we want to do here. We want to move forward together. Love you all. Have a great rest of your week.